Anna Mari, and I'm your host today as usual. So today we are starting to talk about the holiday season and planning for seasonal success, because we know that if you don't start now, or if you haven't got it in tow, by the time you get to the holidays, you might get yourself in a bit of trouble. So Lisa's going to be like outlining all the things. Oh, Lisa from Zeald is here again. I'm so excited. I love when we tag team these sessions, and she's going to be laying out some really good strategies, and we're going to talk about get your questions answered, of course. And I know we're going to learn some great tips, because every session I have with Lisa, she always gives us lots of things that we can work towards or go and do after the session. So stay tuned for all of that. Now, just a quick reminder, if you join us on one of the other platforms like Facebook or LinkedIn, YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so excited that you're tuning in, but make sure you don't miss out on the special offers and competitions that we run on the actual site. So you've got to register to digitalboost.co.nz to have access to those things. Now, if you would like to ask a question today, there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can use the chat function, the Q&A function, or the comment section, depending on what platform you're streaming in on. So do pop your questions in there. I do check them throughout this session, and we will get them answered for you. Okay, so that is enough from me. Lisa, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me again. Looking forward to the session today about, like you said, seasonal success, planning for those holidays.
Yeah, because I know that we have a lot of people who have products or have, services, all of that stuff. And it almost doesn't matter what industry you're in, you have to prepare in some way for this. So I think this is going to be a really valuable session. I'm going to stop my video. I'm going to let you drive, because I know you've always got heaps of stuff, and I will check back in a little bit. Do you want questions throughout or at the end?
Happy either way. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool. So yeah, like we said, planning for seasonal success. So one of the main reasons chose this topic for this time of year is we are coming up to the holiday season. And so seasonal success through the holiday season is very important for a lot of businesses. Alongside this, though, we do touch on how to plan for seasonal success throughout the year as well. So it's not just tailored towards the end of the year. You can be taking these throughout other seasons in the year, and it also relates to summer and winter seasons as well. So going to go through a lot. So starting off today, seasonality. So what is this? So seasonality is an ever-changing trend. Probably 10 years ago, Black Friday, Cyber Monday wasn't really a big thing, especially in New Zealand. I know the States generally had it for Thanksgiving, but in New Zealand wasn't really a known thing. Over the last few years, Black Friday and Cyber Monday have become massive trends across the digital space. And so with that, it is an ever-changing trend as people create new seasons, new sort of days. We've got Singles Days, the 11th of the 11th, which is 11th of November. So new trends are coming up that can allow for seasonality. So your customers react to particular seasons that you can leverage, even if you are not a seasonal business. So there's clear seasonal businesses, and those might be, such as, looking at Mount Ruapehu, the ski fields there is seasonal, because it's only winter or when the snow fields are open that people are going there. And that can be our traditional seasonal business. But for other companies who maybe, sell online all year long, they can also become seasonal businesses by offering their sales or specials at certain times of the year as well. So seasonality refers to predictable changes or periodic fluctuations that regularly occur over a one-year period in a business or economy based on a particular season, quarter, or month, including calendar or commercial seasons. So that's just a really good overview of how this could apply to your business if you weren't sure if you can. And then any expected change in or pattern in a time series that recurs or repeats over a one-year period can be said to be seasonal. So generally for businesses, if you've been having your Google Analytics for a while running, and you see maybe, every May for some reason you get a peak in traffic and you get a peak in purchases, there's probably a reason around that, and it's generally down to seasonality. For example, if you sell raincoats on your website a lot, or winter jackets, etc., you might see that more people come around that period to purchase those, and therefore it leads to a spike in sales at that time. So seasonality has a very significant influence on the strategies that organisations can put in place. Purchasing habits tend to shift based on the activities that consumers participate in, and therefore the online businesses need to consider this ahead of time. So you do need to be preparing your business for this, and in particular for Christmas, now is the best time to be getting items in place so that you're prepared for it, because seasonality sales are definitely not something that should be rushed. So when it comes to the sales cycle here, there's typically some seasonal angle your business should be taking at any given time of the year. So you'll see some of the larger, if we look at the warehouse, etc., they use sort of stock take sales when there's not so much sort of a seasonality holiday to celebrate, or it's not a sort of well-known space. People like car yards generally do end of financial year sales as well. So just trying to give you different ideas of potential times throughout the year that you could be looking at doing these types of sales. So what they can do is provide opportunities for your business to thrive, since each season comes with specific significant holidays, events, and activities, which cause consumers to behave differently and therefore provide a lot of opportunities for your business. So we're not going to cover it today, but a key thing here is just having your marketing calendar done up and breaking it into quarters for seasonality, and then being able to sort of plot holidays or events, activities that relate to your business, and that will help you with working out what seasonality opportunities you can take advantage of. So I've already said a few of them, but seasonal opportunities that have the power to boost your revenue and connect with your audience include Halloween. Thanksgiving, not so much, but it is still popular over here. We have some Americans who work in our business, and so we actually celebrate Thanksgiving just to have them feel included with the holidays we do have here in New Zealand as well. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, the list goes on. There's Mother's Day, there's Queen's birthday. So there's tons of holidays that people know of already. But then, like I mentioned, there's also end of financial year, there's stock take sales that people do. There's even just seasonality, like changing from winter to spring is generally get that spring clean sale, or, step into spring with some new clothes, etc. So those are the sort of the other ways that you can be looking at these opportunities. So whichever seasons you target depend on the nature of your business. And I did put it in here, building a calendar of observances that are relevant to your industry ahead helps. So this is something you can do at the start of the year. But what you could do right now, if you've not already got that in place, is probably plan out for the rest of the year and see which of the holidays that are coming up, because there's quite a few, would relate to your business. So a little bit of an expert tip. So remember not to rush into a seasonal marketing campaign, whatever season you're preparing your business for. So seasonal sales strategies are among the most difficult to execute properly, in large part due to the time sensitivity of the whole endeavour. So there's only, for example, one Christmas day. Okay, so if you have only decided to do a Christmas Day sale or preparing for that sort of 2 weeks beforehand, you're probably going to put a lot of pressure on yourself and your business in terms of trying to get everything sorted so that it goes smoothly. You probably also won't see the results because people are shopping for Christmas, right at the start of December. We do, of course, have people like me who leave it all last minute, but you do have people who are actually quite well prepared. And generally, some people I know, like my sister, she starts preparing for Christmas gifts, etc., because we do Secret Santa from the start of the year and uses sales throughout the year to purchase those. So holiday destination businesses is another example. We're just going to go into a few more of these. So Holiday destinations can run on a seasonal basis depending on the primary activities in that location. So for example, ski fields in New Zealand operate primarily during the winter months since they rely on the cold weather and snow, while other holiday destinations, such as going far north, generally operate more during the summer because everyone wants the beach and the sun. So others only open during the prime selling time of the year as well to give the business owner some flexibility during the off season. So I think the other thing with things like, outside of lockdown, things like Airbnb and the different holiday home sites we have allow people to obviously rent out their home in the off seasons when they're not using it. So although they're not trying to market their own home, they will be using those platforms to try and drive those people through to their home. And then for small seasonal businesses, it's very crucial to set rates and develop enough clients and customers to help pay overhead bills throughout the year. So if you are a very seasonal business like this, you just need to be looking at where you're placing your rates. And although you might be promoting people to come in summer and you might be very popular destination in summer, you most likely won't be running like a sale or a discount on your rates, but you might be throwing in something for free, like breakfast for free, a free continental breakfast every morning, etc. So you might be doing something like that in order to make sure that you're not affecting your rates when you are a true seasonal business. Another example is outdoor maintenance services. So this can be lawn care, landscaping, snow removal, etc. And snow removal or clearing businesses generally thrive through the winter months, or might be part of your business that you choose to promote more during the winter months as well, so that people can use your services. Whereas what might happen is the lawn care or the landscaping, generally during the winter months, tend to be quite seasonal, and so they won't be doing as much landscape work because it's generally quite muddy. So this is just a way that you can use the seasons to promote certain services you have in order to sustain your business throughout the year. So just touching a bit more, so landscapers are also typically busiest during the warmer months when winter brings cold temperatures and potentially snow in some areas of the company. So touching on sports and recreation facilities, so local recreational facilities are similar to the holiday destinations and the seasonal nature of business. So golf courses operate primarily during spring and summer and autumn in climates with cold winters. And holiday camps also thrive during the summer months, while typically closing during winter months. So I know a lot of the council campgrounds, etc., are open during summer, but some of them actually close during winter due to this. And then for things like recreational sports like rugby, these are very good to promote during winter. So again, even if you're not in the rugby industry, you're not in the sports industry, if you're selling items or services around that, these are just giving you ideas that you could be using to help promote your own services. So for example, you might be a physio, and so you could be promoting your services towards rugby players or people who are looking at rugby and searching rugby over the winter months, and be promoting more directed towards them. So that's just another way you could be looking at these. Yes.
I catch you here. So there's a question here. It says our busiest time of year is mid-July to September and the summer holidays. When's the best time to advertise for these?
Yeah. So without knowing exactly what your business does, that's a little bit hard. But if it's something where it's a destination, people need to come to you, generally you want to advertise 1 to 2 months beforehand. So what you're doing is you're trying to capture people when they're starting to think about planning to go away, if it's like that holiday destination thing. Now, if it's more like the raincoat scenario where you sell products that relate directly to those periods, that's where you're starting to go, okay, you would start a little early campaign that's maybe just a low level. It's capturing those people who are very well prepared and organized, but you will be running your campaign quite heavily during those periods to be capturing people who go, oh, look, it's winter. I don't have a raincoat. Let me buy one. So that's what you're trying to capture in those. So 2 answers there, so you've just got to look at which way your business is, and hopefully those examples help.
Cool.
So another example is those tax preparation services, which probably also leads a little bit to that answer. So tax preparation services companies typically are obviously really open and available during the tax season. So thinking of that end of financial year, getting GST in. And so, you know, you might be in a full service accounting firm or just a full service accountant, and tax preparation is one part that you do, but you might find that during that time of year and just before that, you're promoting these services and predominantly have your focus in this space. So some close potentially as the tax deadline passes, while others stay open for also late filers. So this is ways that you can target your campaigns. So if you know it's getting near the end of the season when people need to file for their GST, you might be running a campaign for those that are running tight on their deadlines. And then during the off season, a tax preparation business or an accountant who maybe only focuses on that might operate by appointment only rather than just keeping someone in the office full time. Or like I mentioned, if you're a full service accounting firm or accountant and you're doing other services, you might push for those services more during the rest of the year. So school-related companies is another good example. So schools, colleges, and universities are very good examples of seasonal businesses. In particular, we obviously have 3 lots of 2-week holidays throughout the year. Some schools do 3 weeks. And then we also have the big summer holidays. So for people like tutors, they can help students with their coursework during the school year. However, some tutors and some teachers also offer to do this during the summer breaks. Or there's things like holiday programs and after school programs that will help, you know, look after your children and keep them interested and doing activities while you're still at work. So here's just a different way you could be looking at it, that your seasonality might be more that you're targeting certain times of the year based on a school calendar. So another example is businesses that supply athletic departments or other departments of high schools and colleges may, you know, be a bit more quiet during the off season, so during our summer holiday period, because schools aren't open. But that way you could be looking to target in other areas, or maybe not be as busy during that, but really target your marketing during the time when they're about to open again. So then we also have what's our special occasions. So this generally, just as an example, flowers and florists make use of seasonal marketing as their product. So this is probably one of the best examples that I'll use a few times. They're very in demand as tokens for special occasions. So when we're talking seasonality here, there's also birthdays, promotions, graduations, and anniversaries. So this is where you need to be looking at where your business sits and what sort of things over the year people are looking for you, are looking at you for. People who do graduations, you know, if you hire out gowns, that's another example of your seasonality and when you need to target your marketing for that. And then I think the one I wanted to cover off last, which is the hardest because it's e-commerce sites. When you're selling online, you can sell all year long, you know, but this is where you really need to plan around what your industry's best seasons are. So looking at your Google Analytics, see where your peaks and troughs are, and then be putting marketing strategies in place where your peaks are to maybe drive that stronger. Or if you're really going, well, I'm not too seasonal and I kind of want to boost my troughs a bit more, then you might be looking at putting campaigns in at those times and looking at what potential promotions around holidays, etc., there are in the lower months. So this is just something I think is very important to think about, because I think when people go, look, I sell online all year round, I don't need to be seasonal. It is still part of what your plan should be. I think we can't ignore the holiday season. We can't ignore things like Mother's Day. We can't ignore the change of the seasons either. And, you know, why not benefit from that for your business if it works with your industry? So expert tip. So as a seasonal business owner, you should take advantage as well of the downtime to make improvements to the business. So my
Am I moving? Is she frozen? I'm not sure. if that's Lisa or if it's my connection. If someone can drop in the chat and just let me know if you're also seeing that, or is it just me? I do love Lisa's expert tips. They're always really good. I'm just not sure if that's me or everybody. Oh, it must have been both of us. Okay. I thought, oh, that's crazy. One time I thought that it had happened, like somebody had frozen, and then later they were like, oh no, you were the only person that was frozen. And I was like, oh, okay. So I try not to jump to conclusions because I'm not sure what I'm seeing, if I'm seeing things correctly. So okay, you did freeze.
That was definitely me. Yeah, no. Okay. Ever since the storms we've had recently, my internet's a little troublesome, but yeah.
Oh, it's been crazy weather, hasn't it? It's been wild.
It has been, yes, definitely.
Yeah. We do have a question. Do you want to hit it?
Okay.
Now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It says, what about trans-seasonal knitwear? In its first year of business, planning for Xmas and all other holidays at this stage so that I have the data for next year. Would you recommend this, or to just focus on certain holidays?
I think what you can do is if you're trying to do every holiday so that you have the data for next year, you're probably stretching yourself quite a lot. I think the other thing to be aware of is, yes, you could be, so I always laugh with Briscoes. So Briscoes do have a great marketing campaign. I'm not going to say they don't, but I always laugh because it's like, oh, I just won't buy this today because we're going to have a sale tomorrow. So I think that's something to be aware of. As a business, you don't need to hit every single holiday. You don't need to hit everything. What you should do there is just focus on certain holidays, because you don't need to sort of do every single one. You just need to do the ones where you feel people are more inclined to relate to your business and come to your business to purchase. And I mean, I know knit years obviously going to be higher generally probably in winter, but during summer, people prep for winter or they want to give it as a gift, etc. And so you can still do Christmas, etc. But trying to hit every single holiday is going to just stretch you too thin. And also give people that sense of, oh, I'll just wait for the sale.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of like that. I'm like, oh, it'll be on set, it'll be on sale soon. I'm not going to buy it now.
Yeah. Whereas just as another example, there's a couple of gym companies I follow, and I actually know that one of them only does sales on the Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
And so during the year, I sort of see something, and what I actually end up asking myself is, can I wait till then and maybe get it, or should I just buy it now because I want it? So, again, that having that limit to how much you offer sales can also boost your sales elsewhere as well. So I wouldn't recommend hitting every holiday just to have some data. I'd recommend focusing on some key holidays that relate to your industry and what's best for your company right now, or what you feel, and then get the data based on that. If the data is not good, if it shows it was still low, then maybe next year what your key there is that you look at some other ones. But it's always that ongoing journey. It's never just I hit everything at once.
Yeah, and everything's going to change, isn't it? Like year by year, as trends change, people change.
Definitely. So. Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, like what went crazy over the last year? Deaths for being at home. So, things happen in an instant. And so, you also need to be aware of that popping up or trends changing. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. So I was on this slide, I think, hopefully. Yeah, cool. So as a seasonal business owner, so you should take advantage of your downtimes, jump on things like Digital Boost, watch webinars, put together your marketing plan. Perfect time if you're a bit quieter and you don't have so much going on. And so that's what you could look at to do on the off seasons or those downtimes, rather than trying to focus on sales. Or likewise, like I said, put together that marketing plan, review what's there, and see if there's some sort of activity or holiday over that off season that you can actually improve your sales during that time as well. So why is it important to look at seasonal marketing? So probably get the picture by now, but seasonal marketing is the process of marketing or promoting products during special times of the years or sales seasons. So it often includes special season themed promotions to appeal to the customer's seasonal needs. So end of season sale, hurry, stocks last, making that urgency there, which we are going to be covering off as well. So seasonal marketing doesn't have to relate to an official holiday. So for example, like I said, a trend's now come about for Singles Day, 11th of the 11th, and that's just popped up over the last few years, and now it's kind of a bit of a holiday. It's not an official one, but it's there and it's a trend now. So it is about adjusting your marketing campaigns to significant events and holidays that relate to your industry. And seasonal marketing gives consumers an excuse to spend money. So Valentine's Day, during the year, lots of people in relationships probably go, oh, can't be bothered going out, or, can't be bothered going out for dinner. But for some reason on Valentine's Day, it's a must. That's sort of what we've created in the world. And so people go, oh, I have to go to dinner, or I have to buy flowers, I have to do this because it's Valentine's Day. And so consumers start going, I need to do this, and I want to spend my money to do that as well. So that's what you're looking for here. So why is it further? So seasonal marketing offers many benefits for new or established businesses. So seasonal marketing can help boost product sales and revenue by attracting new and existing customers to special deals and promotions. So like I said, some people do naturally hold out for sales. And so that's what they might keep coming back to your website to do to actually get that sale. And then customers appreciate the opportunity as well to save money or gain valuable products or services, which can drive demand and referrals. So they might then recommend it to friends. Should highlight that it's not just around the opportunity to save money. So it doesn't just have to be a discount. Like I mentioned, it might be also offering, breakfast delivered if you're in the hotel motel industry, or it could be buy one get one free, that sort of thing, where potentially it's not an instant you're discounting it or reducing a part of it. It could be free shipping if you're maybe if a business that sells larger products, that maybe shipping is $20-30 because that's the reality of larger products. They need to go on a bigger truck. There might be a weekend where you decide to do that free shipping, and that then you can get some more sales in, because generally shipping is one space that stop people from buying. So benefits is appealing to seasonal excitement. So this is why it's very important at this time of year to start prepping yourself for the end of year run, basically. So people are starting to get excited. Some countries already are actually starting to celebrate Christmas. So you can see people start getting excited for the end of the year, excited for sales, excited for the opportunities that it brings. So holidays and seasonal transitions can create excitement among your customers due to changing weather, especially in New Zealand. We moved to summer. I feel like everyone's moods lift. There's family gatherings happening. So around Christmas, people get together with family or friends, or, even neighbors. And there's this desire to exchange gifts or find good deals. Might not be gifts, that come together to have meals, etc. So there's lots of opportunities where people are excited at the end of the year. So this limited time offering means the customer needs to act quickly to get the seasonal deal and can make a customer more likely to buy. So I very much agree to this. So just a quick story. I get super excited for Christmas because I get super excited to have a turkey. And my mum knows how crazy I am about knowing that that's just the one time of year that turkey is what we have. And so for me, she actually gets 2 turkeys so that I can have some leftovers. But, I'm very excited about that. And I will be hanging out to see for turkeys to go on sale, etc. I know you can get them throughout the year, but for me, that's my seasonal excitement at the end of the year.
That's so funny. We do have a question here. I'm actually hanging out for Black Friday myself. Last year, I got a really great umbrella on sale, and I just forgot it was Black Friday, and it popped up on my feed, and I really had been thinking about an umbrella, but not really shopping for one. But once I saw that those were on sale, I was like, I'm buying it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So a lot of people hang out for Black Friday, even though it traditionally was an American kind of thing.
Yes.
But we've really adopted it here, and a lot of people do their Christmas shopping on that day. I'm just gonna say.
Yes. Yep, they sure do.
Quite easy. Yeah. Here we go. What promotions would you suggest for an agricultural service only, agricultural service only company as a promotion?
Okay, I think there's probably a few different aspects to agricultural, but depending on what it is. So this is where you could be, if you're someone who actually goes out and maybe crops, does all the crops and deals with all of that, or maybe does sheep shearing. I mean, there's lots in agricultural.
Yeah.
You could be, I think what your services are targeting is you're promoting how maybe how many years you've been in it. So again, your promotion doesn't have to just be a discount or anything. It can be promoting that you're the go-to, that maybe you're so flexible that you can work X after hours or something based on the season that it is, because you'll know the seasons of farmers or etc. So it really depends where you're trying to target, and in particular, I'd say what kind of agriculture is such a large industry. It's hard for me to sort of go, look, are you doing it where, because if you're maybe someone who goes out and gathers all the crops, etc., with your machinery, then you could maybe offer, be first 10 to book in and get 3 hours free or something, 3 hours of time free or something like that. So there's ways you could look at it like that, where, same with, I guess, sheep shearing, etc., but it really depends where you are. So you could be offering something where maybe you're giving them a little bit of time for free, or an extra hour free, or something like that. If you're someone who needs, ends up, there could be some rubbish that needs taking away, maybe that's something you chuck them for free. If it's something where you're actually selling agricultural goods to other people, buy one, get one half price, or it might be pre-order now. So that's another way, pre-order now and get 10% off. There could be little things like you could do like that. So it's hard to really say without knowing the nuts and bolts of your business.
And the pre-order is a great idea in a way. Even if you say pre-order, instead of giving a discount, you give something on top of it that is, an add-on. It's quite good, because then you've got that confirmed sale.
Definitely.
Stability, isn't it?
Yeah. And you're right, definitely. You don't always have to look at discounts. It might be that you just, this probably does sound like a discount, but you will organize the delivery. It could be something as simple as that. If you know that maybe, you'll just get one of the workmates for the day to go out and put everything in their truck or something, and they deliver it. That could be the way that you look at doing it that day for those people who pre-order. So lots of different ways to look at it.
Oh, you've always got the good ideas, Lisa. I love these.
Thanks. That one was a bit tricky, because not too much. But
that's what I love about when you come on. It doesn't matter what they throw at you. You've got an answer. It's so great. Okay, I'll stop.
Awesome. Thanks. Cool. So number 2, so further benefits of seasonal marketing is it very much boosts the awareness. Your brand awareness. So brand awareness is a measure of how aware people are that your business exists and what products or services it offers. So seasonal marketing can really show the public, your customers, etc., that your brand is able to create and offer content that's both relevant and valuable for consumers in the moments that matter. So for example, a florist would be silly if you weren't promoting Mother's Day and Father's Day and, all those special occasions throughout the year where people might go, not quite sure what to get someone, flowers is a good idea. And so you would probably push a bit more content at that time. You might go buy flowers and some chocolates and partner with a company that sells chocolates. So there's opportunities you can create that then show your customers what your brand is and how you can help them in their day-to-day life, essentially, by organizing gifts on those important occasions. So it also humanizes your brand and allows it to be adaptive to your consumer needs at various times throughout the year. So this relates a little bit back to the trends. So keeping yourself up with the trends and letting your customers know that you're aware of the trends, you're aware of new things coming in, and that you're there to support them with whatever your offering is during those. So 3, it also drives more traffic. So staying seasonally current and catering to consumer trends can entice new clients to check out what your business has to offer and how it can fit their needs. So meeting the most in-demand needs at the right time can definitely always bring more traffic to your website. And you can do this in a lot of different ways. So, it's just key to think about not stretching yourself too thin and just focusing on maybe some of those times where either you're in a bit of a low and you want to boost that, or some key holidays or seasons that fit in with your business. Number 4, it helps convert leads to paying customers. So leads who are aware of your business but haven't committed to purchasing yet may be interested in making a purchase during seasonal promotions. So we've both talked about it now. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, perfect example. People tend to hold off knowing that those are coming because generally those are known as the bigger sales of the year where people offer bigger discounts. And like I was touching on, sometimes I know that some businesses only do sales then. And so when I'm looking at if I want to purchase something, I go, do I want it now? Or can I wait and maybe get it at the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales? But also taking the risk that I might miss out because I know how popular it gets at that time as well. Okay, so prices are generally lower during these promotion periods, or there's something that can entice a lead to make a purchase and potentially become a loyal customer. So seasonal marketing helps show leads the benefits of committing to that purchase and encourage them to remain a customer even after the holiday or seasonal promotion ends. So with this, you always want to also be looking to target your existing clients and customers and not just your new ones. So with this, I would recommend email marketing as a good tactic, but also what you're looking at is if you're a one-off service or a service maybe that happens only every 5-10 years, for example, this is where you're maybe offering, hey, customer, you had the service with me, can you leave a review? Or, hey, customer, you had the service with me, let a friend know and get 5% off or get something for them. So you can drive different promotions that way as well. And I know there's a few webinars on Digital Boost around that. So increase product sales. So seasonal marketing can help boost your product or service sales and revenue by attracting those new and existing customers to special deals. And if you can't offer that deal for everyone who might purchase off your website, that's where you can create that urgency. And I do touch on it, where you're sort of going, be the first 10, be the first 50 and get this deal. But then other people generally come in and they may still make the purchase because they were driven and actually wanted the product as well. Customers also appreciate the opportunity to save money and gain valuable products or services, which can drive demand and referrals. So listen to feedback and customer comments to determine if you're meeting needs. So you need to see what people are saying as well, and make sure that you take this in line with your marketing. So obviously, if people are always saying you're very expensive, there might be a different change you need to do before you start marketing through sales. Otherwise, what will happen is that people will always only come for the sales as well. So make sure you are sort of taking feedback on board and seeing what your customers are doing. You can also use this to see if they're only using the products during a certain time of year or only coming to you at a certain time of year. So that's where you're listening to your data as feedback instead of direct feedback from customers. So options around how you can market for seasonal items. So for this one, you can build a seasonal email list. So building relevant email lists is important all year round. It really helps you capitalize, and your option incentives should be relevant to the season. So you can retarget the leads you collect with content and offers that are specific to that. So again, Black Friday is a perfect example of a seasonal event where building a relevant email list before the big day can guarantee more sales. So lots of companies do some teaser emails, a month before, and then maybe a couple of weeks before, and then a couple of days before. Teaser emails to get people excited about potential, what they could be getting. And then on Black Friday, they send out an email going, here's our deals, or here's what you can get. And people are already excited and had that anticipation. So then they come through and look at them, and you're more guaranteed to purchase because you've already moved them through a month of thinking about this. So number 2 is promoting seasonal product categories as well. So create a smooth user journey on your site, involves helping visitors find what they're looking for. So when you are doing sales, it's good to try and group those areas together so that people aren't sort of looking at everything you have to try and find what the sales related to. So for example, you can do that with creating a product, all products on one page to promote your visitors straight to that. So for example, for Mother's Day, you can carefully select all your products that work well for Mother's Day and pop them into maybe another category, which is your offer for Mother's Day campaign. So that's just one way you can look at doing that. And then you can build anticipation as well with a countdown timer. So some sites do this really well as well, or on their socials they do it. They've sort of got this countdown timer that's saying, 10 hours until the sale, 8 hours into the sale. So building anticipation for upcoming events is a great way to hype people and get them excited. So don't forget to promote your seasonal sales ahead of time. So if people don't know what it's happening, they likely won't come back for it. So this is where if you do have social, you have email, and you also just have Google Ads spend, that I would utilize all of those different markets to be promoting and ahead of time as well. So one effective way of promoting an upcoming sale is by having some sort of countdown timer to your site. Not something you should have all the time, but just related to something like this. Another way you can do it as well is if you're promoting a new product or service that you're about to release. Not so much for seasonal there, but it might just be another way you can sort of have a countdown timer to get people excited about what this new product or service could be. So you can use season-specific testimonials to drive more sales. So testimonials are from customers who bought a season-specific product and mentioned how your product improved their experience during that season. So again, raincoats, for example, you might just push your reviews for the raincoats that you sell on your website during the winter season, so that people are more likely to purchase them because they can see that other people have and they enjoy the product. So consumers do look to each other more than ever for product recommendations and quality assurance. They want to know that the raincoat's going to last, it's going to actually stop the rain from getting on them, all those little things. And that's where they look to other people who have actually purchased the product. And then, so awesome to, if you can, put testimonials on your product page or those little reviews that you can get. That I know that most website platforms do that. So when visitors are looking for a product to use for a certain occasion, having a testimonial from another customer about the product, how the product was perfect for the same occasion, is invaluable. So going back to something like the florist, having other people say how wonderful the bunch of flowers was for their mum on Mother's Day is just going to be invaluable to someone else who goes, yes, I want my mum to feel like that as well. So another way is customizing product guides. So offer product guides for specific product categories. So if you sell appliances, you can offer a guide to how to choose the right washing machine, for example. And then the trick here is to promote your product guide. I'm seeing it quite a lot recently with like Sleepyhead, I think it is. They're promoting people to come and take their, what bed suits you or your lifestyle quiz that they have. So that's a product guide where I can go in and I select a few options, and then it goes, here's the 3 best Sleepyhead beds in order of what you should be looking at. So you can customize the design and copy for your product guide pop-ups to match the season, and you'll create a better user experience on your site and drive more sales. I think there's lots of different ways you can look to do this. Another way is, recently I was trying to find a duvet for over the winter. And so I was actually looking at product guides to tell me which one was going to be best for me. So that's which actually drove me to my purchase in the end. So options around how you can market further is number 6, create a seasonal game. So there are many seasonal games year round that can be turned into competitions and games, and Easter is one of them. You can sort of create fun little Easter egg hunts on the website or little quizzes that people can do, and potentially have some prize winners out of that. And so you can do it like that, or then people who do these quizzes, etc., might get a little extra in their cart at the end once they've made some purchases. So lots of ways to do this. The example I do have is Mighty Ape. They do an Easter egg hunt every every year with some little riddles, and you've got to find what product it was, and you can win some prizes. Now that what they do is very extensive, and they obviously have an in-house team that actually work on the website to get that done. So I wouldn't say go to that extreme, but there's little quizzes and other things that you can do to help create this as well. Number 7 is you can use daily offers. So invite visitors to engage with your site continuously during long holiday season, like Christmas. So you can create daily or weekly offers for visitors. You can pre-schedule daily or weekly offers for visitors to encourage them for continuous engagement, such as come back tomorrow and see what it is. Once It, which is an NZ sort of marketplace type website, they do this. I've noticed they do it quite well over the seasons. So they generally sort of come back each day, and it has this little wheel you can spin, and it tells you what your discount for that day is, whether it's free shipping, whether it's 5% off, etc. And obviously the settings would allow to say what percentage of people, of visitors to the site, get which ones. So that's just one way you could do it. If you don't want to go to that extreme, you can sort of just send out emails and go, for this week it's 10% off, but stay tuned to see what next week's deal is, and that could be free shipping or something. So lots of ways you can look at doing that. Number 8 is making sure you're addressing problems as they arise. So in particular, during these periods, unplanned technical issues transpire during seasonal events like checkout areas, longer waiting times on support, or worse, your entire site crashing. So this happens, and it's always, I mean, no one ever wants it to happen, but it can happen. So you can activate a site-wide pop-up informing visitors of the situation to encourage visitors to have patience while you're working to fix the issues, and then let visitors know immediately if you're having issues on your site and that you're working to fix them. So this is where social media can help a lot. Most hosting businesses, etc., like I know here at Zeald, we actually have the team more available and more on support and ready. We make sure we're watching how the levels are going within the servers to make sure that we're not sort of going to have any issues. But at the end of the day, some overloads can just happen. And that's just the nature of what we're working in the digital space. So number 9 is add gift wrapping at checkout. So might be like, oh, yep, little gimmicky sometimes, but adding gift wrapping at checkout can save time. And that's what people are looking for, in particular at Christmas and at other times when it's a special occasion, etc. You know, Mother's Day, they're looking for, oh, they're going to gift wrap it, and then I can just get it delivered straight there if I'm not going to be there on the day, or I am going to be there on the day, but I don't want to go buy gift wrapping paper. So it's a very stressful part for consumers. I know I'm not very good at it. So adding it can be a little extra service that it's a small effort and gets a loyal and happy customer. So, you know, if you're not really wanting to offer discounting, etc., but maybe you're really good, or one of the members of the team are really good at gift wrapping, maybe you just do that at the seasonal period and you get some gift wrapping options. You know, it can be very simple, like the brown paper there is perfect, and then you could write the note on it and just have a ribbon. So, you know, there's lots of options you can do in that space to make it cost effective, but it's that nice little extra touch. So take advantage of the season and customize your messages for it, your offers and your incentives to the season. So there's no point just saying end of year sale if it's still Christmas, it's coming up to Christmas. You want to be highlighting that it's either a Christmas or Boxing Day sale. Once those have passed, that's when you would look at your end of year sales, but then you tailor it even more by making sure you're saying maybe New Year's sale if that's more relatable to your business than end of year. So just the last few slides now. So one thing I've touched on a little bit is creating urgency. And I think with seasonal marketing, its urgency is what's driving people, because similar to how I mentioned that it is a time pressured and a stressful time for you if you're trying to do it too close to the event. It's the same for your customers. So they want to feel urgency that they need to get it before the event takes place, because obviously once that day's over, once that season's over, it's done. They can't go back in time. So for this urgency and creating that urgency is what's probably going to help you the most. So most often during the year when shoppers browse your online store, they're often at acting with an unfortunate lack of urgency. So like I mentioned, I sort of sit there when I look at something and I know, oh, they've got a sale coming up on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Do I really want this now? You know, that's my unfortunate lack of urgency there. So as an online store, urgency does help your visitors make faster decisions. It is a way to make them take action immediately and essentially give them less time to think is what you're doing. You don't want them to overthink the situation. You want to make them fast decision makers, which we are all not fast decision makers. So creating a sense of urgency is then more likely to drive this. It targets their tendency to reduce the risk and procrastinate decisions by striking at their fear of missing out. So not being exclusive, and it also can offer some social proof. So that's where you're looking at your testimonials to go, these people have had it and look how great it is. So there can be a fine line. You don't want to be overstressing them so that they just leave because it's too much. But if you're sort of creating this anticipation and then, hey, you've only got a couple of days left to make the sale because of the season, that's how you sort of make sure that they're aware of what the urgency is here. So some tactics are free delivery for a limited period. So one way to work around this problem is to state your shipping fees up front. So some people have like $8 nationwide shipping on their homepage or in their header. And so it sort of helps people see that. And then when they see a free delivery for this time, it does help them maybe go, oh, I've got to jump in this weekend and get this free shipping item so that I don't have to pay for that, because that often is what stops people. You could offer, offer free delivery, but for a limited time if it's something you can't do long term. You can state this offer prominently on your site, and you could set a very tight deadline as well. You can also offer free shipping for a limited number of buyers, so first 100, for example. And so you're linking it to a quantity instead of time. So like I said, yeah, first 500 customers, come and get it. You do want to make sure that you're giving it to a reasonable amount of people. You don't want to do it only to 10, and you don't want to make it so that it's, you know, maybe 2,000 and that people don't feel as much an urgency either. Other ways are you can, for a limited time. So instead of that really quite tight deadline, you can just do it for a time limit of days as well to create some urgency. But in particular for maybe if your purchasing sort of conversion process is a bit longer because your item's quite a bit larger, you know, you might want to expand how long you offer this for, because people still, even though you're still trying to create urgency, they may need a couple of seconds to still think about whether this larger purchase is what they need and it's right for them. You could offer a limited stock of products as well. So state a limited stock offer to create the illusion that your product is highly valued by others. So you might only have 5 left. So that way you could sort of creating this, you might miss out if you're not one of the next 5 people to purchase this. I know some clothing websites do that quite often, and it does help because it makes you sort of go, oh, I need to purchase this now because it might not come back in stock and I actually really want it. So it does lead to shoppers acting immediately, not to miss out. So further ones here is rewarding your first amount of buyers. So I know I've touched on this, but offer your buyers a free gift or a discount coupon upon completion of a purchase at your store if you're one of the first, you know, 5 or 10 people. People's fear of missing out on something free will help create that urgency to take action. And you could also reward buyers with discounts from a partner store as well. So you could entice customers to shop with you by then offering them discounts on products from a partner store. You know, like I mentioned, the florist, you could be doing it full price, but maybe then they get 5 or 10% off from a chocolate company that you partner with. Further urgency tactics are offering discounts on abandoned cart items. So this one's important. Retargeting your customers that have actually gone to make a checkout purchase, but they've just not completed it. It's a really good idea to target them with maybe a purchase this within the next day and get 10% off, 20% off. So that's another way to create urgency with someone who's actually already gone through the funnel and had the intention to buy by having these items in their cart or checkout. So make sure though to add the time limit. Don't just give them an open-ended discount to come back at any time. Make sure to sort of go within the next few days or within the next few hours so that you're making them go, I've got to make the decision now. And then capitalize on those special holidays. So run effective promotions for holidays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, but make sure you're giving yourself enough time to make sure you're marketing it right. I think we're quite lucky. There's a lot of data we can see when other bigger companies are doing this, and that generally gives you an idea of when you should start marketing these as well. Oh, I have a cat in front of my screen, sorry. So you do need to remind customers of the delivery deadline to encourage immediate action. Last bit here, so offer today only deals. This is massive, and I think you can see this a lot with like Grab One and Treat Me, those types of deal sites. Today only deals are offers on products that last only up to 1 day. And so people go, oh, I do need to make that decision today. So you can create a separate deal of the day section where customers can browse these exclusively. Again, another example here for these deal of the days, I know Mighty Ape does it. They have deals for the day that you can go and browse. So if you're wanting some examples, I suggest Mighty Ape, or even go look at Grab One, etc. Those ones have some great examples. And then you can use pop-ups to remind shoppers of limited time promotions. So special offers and discounts can motivate users to take action, and pop-ups are an effective way to grab their attention here. So one last tip for today. So make sure that whatever you're doing and what you're planning to doing, that your e-commerce platform or your lead generation platform can support your marketing activities. Also, though, you've got to think within budget, but generally you do need to look at what your platform can offer in terms of your marketing activities. There might be ones where, based on your budget, you can do a few workarounds, but ultimately most platforms should be able to support them in one way or another, or have connections to other platforms that will help support these as well. So just a little bit about Zeald. We have helped over 15,000 Kiwi businesses achieve digital transformation. So if you're looking at a website or digital strategy for 2021 or 2022, you can request a free strategy session from us at zeald.com. Otherwise, we also have our GEM initiative, which is free websites, e-commerce or lead generation. We have charity as well. So if you're in need of a website, you're not online yet, we do have this offer, and you can find out more about it at zeald.com as well. That's all.
We go. Oh, it's taking I was like, why isn't it going on? We've got a question just about the timer, putting an integration for a timer on. Do most platforms have that? Do you know?
Most platforms, yeah, have it or have a way to get it. So I know like WordPress, Shopify, etc. generally have plugins or little extensions you can get. My thing there is always just check the ratings, because that's generally what's there. Other places maybe just can connect to an external app that comes and shows it on the website as well. So generally it's something quite small.
Okay, cool. That's great. That was the only question we had kind of hanging out there. This has been, of course, we always go right to time, I feel like. It's because there's always jam-packed, so much information. I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody does with this information, and how they approach their seasons coming up. Be sure to tag us, Digital Boost. We're on all these platforms. You can totally tag us. We love to see how you apply these sessions into the actions of your business. And I think we've got a lot of work to do. We now have a plan. We're going to make a plan. And I loved how you kind of made sure to point on the fact that we do want to make sure our website can handle the capabilities if we're going to put these things into place, because there's nothing worse than, putting all that effort into the marketing and then the website can't handle the capacity, or maybe you don't have enough stock for the capacity, or, like things like that. So just making sure that you've got all that stuff in the background happening.
Yeah, definitely. I think one quick thing on that is, if you're running seasonal, if you're doing your seasonal campaigns and it's kind of outside, your well-known ones like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, etc. Always good if you are working with a website development company or someone who hosts your website, just let them know, because then they can actually keep an eye on it generally for you on that day. So, I mean, we have someone who runs radio campaigns, and they let us know when they are, just so we can keep an eye on things. So generally most people can do that for you as well.
That's awesome. Oh, thanks for that extra expert tip. We love it. We'll take them. We just eat them up when you come on. I think that's us for today. This has been such a fantastic session as usual. We are super grateful for your time, Lisa, and you guys over at Zeald for supporting the initiative and always bringing us such great information. Yeah, Lisa, you're so good. Yeah, she is.
Thank you.
It's on it. And I think, like, I know I sit here and go, amazing, but like, honestly, your sessions are so good. They're just so comprehensive. So I'm always excited when you come on. And I know we have some more sessions still to come.
We do. Yeah. We're booked in right up till December. So
that's right.
Quite a few.
Yeah. So go ahead and have a look on the website and, book yourself in, block the time in. So I hope you have a great day today, everyone. And Lisa, thanks again.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Catch you later.
My pleasure. Ka kite, everyone.